Guys, welcome back to the Rollup. Today we have a very special guest, the co-founder of CoinGecko, Bobby Ong. It is absolutely a pleasure to be talking to you, Bobby. I'm happy that you were able to join the channel. We were able to figure out these time zones, and I'm really looking forward to hear about CoinGecko and the latest product coming out of CoinGecko, GeckoTerminal. So without further ado, please introduce yourself and tell us how you got started, and then we'll take a look at GeckoTerminal.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be on this show today. So my name is Bobby. I'm the co-founder and COO at CoinGecko. A little bit myself. I got a background in economics. I learned about Bitcoin and kind of bought my first Bitcoin in 2013, and wanted kind of believe that this may be the future of money and wanted to kind of build in this industry. So in 2014, my co-founder TM Lee and I decided to build a side project called CoinGecko, and over the years hustled our way into building into one the largest independent crypto data aggregator. And I think over the years we've kind of built CoinGecko. You guys know what we do. We have a website, an app, a CoinGecko API, and the newest product that we have is GeckoTerminal. So excited to be chatting here today. I think there's a lot of things that we'll be talking today.
Yeah, most definitely. And before we get into GeckoTerminal, could you tell us kind of how like Gecko, was able to insert itself as one of the leading data providers in crypto? Yeah,
I think it's more about understanding what is needed in the space, what is missing, and how to get those data. So when I first got started in crypto together with my partner, there weren't that many places with good information on crypto data. So we were out there trying to scratch our own itch and try to build some information site that we could kind of use for ourselves, something that we are proud to look at. It was kind of hard to believe, but in 2014, websites in crypto were so badly designed that they reminded us of websites from the mid-90s. And here we are with some skills in building websites, and we thought hey, we could do a better job at this. So we thought we could do. But over the years, I think the crypto space has sort of changed very significantly from what used to be only Bitcoin trading to maybe a few altcoin tradings. And now we have thousands of cryptocurrencies initially traded on centralized exchanges. And then I think in the year 2020, kind of the scene changed again with rise of DeFi. That really required a re-engineering of the CoinGecko platform, because CoinGecko was built to track prices from centralized exchanges. So we were used to expecting an API response from a centralized exchange. But when Uniswap came about, it kind of decentralized trading and enabled anybody to kind of create a liquidity pool and kind of allow so many tokens to be traded. There was no API response from Uniswap. We talked to the team, and the response was just get the data from the blockchain. It's very simple to say that, but it wasn't very simple for us to do. So the requirement for us was to kind of do the R&D, the necessary research to see how we can support it. And I think we were the first to be able to track Uniswap prices, and with that, we were able to track all the long tail of tokens that were getting hot because of the DeFi summer on Uniswap. This is then followed by tokens traded on Balancer, Curve, and so on. It took a few months for our competitors to catch up, but I think that was kind of how we inserted ourselves more significantly in the DeFi ecosystem. We started seeing a shift in trend again. And what we saw was that no matter how fast we add things on CoinGecko, we see there is still the long tail of tokens that are probably not listed on CoinGecko. So for example, CoinGecko takes a curated approach to token listings on the website. So we kind of have somebody going around checking the contract, making sure that there's no sort of really obvious malicious intent in the contract before listing them. Therefore, we only have about 11,000 tokens listed on CoinGecko because somebody has to check it. On GeckoTerminal, we basically, for example, read and track every single token that is traded on a blockchain. And what this means is that anything that is traded on a DEX, even though if it's a $1 trading volume, it will show up on GeckoTerminal. So with that, we have over 1.2 million tokens tracked on GeckoTerminal. And then kind of the reason why we built this is because when we started crypto, when we started building CoinGecko back in 2014, we have this vision that anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. So we kind of move forward to that future where there will be everything is tokenized. There will be millions, no, in fact, billions of tokens out there in the world. And everyone's going to be really confused trying to make sense of this world. There needs to be a place where somebody could come to a website or to the app and try to make sense of all the tokens out there. And that's kind of the aim of CoinGecko. We want to be the place where people try to make sense of this crazy token world. And GeckoTerminal is one step in fulfilling this vision of like tracking all tokens that will be traded in the future.
Yeah, and it comes from a place where you said you were mostly on centralized exchanges. And that was kind of born as like the first trade where you saw a lot of these people who made, a lot of money in crypto were arbitraging between Korean exchanges and American exchanges or Japanese exchanges and arbitraging the price. And now we have a similar kind of plethora of opportunities and a blossom of tokens that are now kind of launching on whole, many chains, many networks, so many tokens that it's creating a lot of arbitrage opportunities across different exchanges as well as different protocols. And as far as the listing on CoinGecko, it makes perfect sense. It almost adds a label of legitimacy to any tokens that are listed on CoinGecko, and it doesn't give the entire picture of tokenization in this DeFi world. And it sounds like now you guys are bridging the gap from 11,000 tokens. That is a small subset of the tokenized world on CoinGecko. You guys are now blossoming to incorporate all of the tokens that are in this tokenized world through GeckoTerminal. And I think, now's a perfect time to kind of showcase the platform and show our audience what GeckoTerminal is all about.
All right, sounds good. Let me share my screen, and it'll be interesting to share what we have built. Do you see it right now?
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so yeah, here's a screen share of GeckoTerminal. Thought I'd do some screen share and share what we've built so far. So I think there's a few different things on GeckoTerminal. I think I want to bring some highlights to the top stats bar over here. So we've done like the integration with Crypto Fear and Greed Index. So at this point in time, 4th of April, market seems to be in a greedy mode. It seems to be up only for the past couple of months. We have the gas price over here. I think what surprised me the most was how quickly like the growth of L1, L2s that has taken place in the past 1 year. When we started GeckoTerminal, the first version of GeckoTerminal was actually an API that tracks Binance Smart Chain that we use internally to power the prices of PancakeSwap tokens on CoinGecko. But that was over a year ago. And in that period of time, in just 1 year, like we now track over 91 different chains. And you can see the list of chains over here. So you can see new chains like ZK Sync, Polygon ZK EVM. This has this stars over here that kind of highlight some of the new chains. And then we sort them by volume. So example, Ethereum, Arbitrum. These are the chains with the most volume. BNB chain, Optimism, Polygon, Avalanche, Canto, Phantom, Clayton. So these are names that you are familiar with. They're all EVM over here. We have some non-EVM chains like Aptos over here. I think we have Solana over here. Over here, you can see that as well. But just scroll down and you'll be surprised at how many how many layer one chains out there that are kind of building. Look at all these names. Yeah. So many. And that is what surprised me.
Modularity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if
and
you
once
think
again,
of the
you guys
world,
are scratching your own itch.
Exactly. We want to find out what's going on.
You guys are scratching your own itch by bringing in all the data. Exactly.
Yeah. And every single one of this chain, there's all these DEXs. So we track over close to 500 DEXs right now with 1.4 million liquidity pools with over 1 million tokens. So GeckoTerminal has 100x more tokens tracked compared to CoinGecko. And as I mentioned, like anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. We used to think there were millions of tokens, but I think we've kind of reached that stage right now. So I would change it to there will be billions of tokens out there. So there will be an order of magnitude more than this in the next few years. And so yeah, kind of this is the overview. You have the most viewed pools, top gainers, top losers. This is for the entire thing. We can kind of zero in on Ethereum, and you can kind of see the list of all the DEXs over here. So we have Uniswap v3, Curve, Uni v2, Balancer, SushiSwap, and look at this. There's so many DEXs on Ethereum. So yeah, these are some of the interesting stats. You can see the volume and what should we look at today? Which token?
Yeah, what's been catching your eye?
Floki? I don't know. I guess Arbitrum, right? Arbitrum's been pretty interesting lately, right? Everyone's talking about the foundations doing some weird stuff with their governance. So this is Arbitrum. So yeah, I think the interesting part is you can kind of see kind of the price movements in the last 5 minutes, 24 hours, number of transactions, buys, sells. You have a calculator here. 100 Arbitrum is 100 USD or 116 USDC. After USDC DPEG, we can't really assume USDC equals $1 anymore because that can happen again anytime. We got some, I think this is pretty popular. I think people want to copy the token and then kind of go and trade by yourself or click to add to MetaMask or to view on Etherscan, for example. Kind of did this integration with Go Plus token security to kind of check if it's a honeypot, if there's any buy or sell text, especially for like degen traders who want to trade ultimate shitcoins, for example. Yeah, there's some ultimate in index and a bunch of different stats over here. If you want to trade, you can kind of click on this. It should go to, I think this would be Uniswap with the currency in place already. Yeah, there's some stats.
Those are two of my favorite features from CoinGecko in general, is the ability to go and like see the most liquid markets and then click on the market and it'll take me right there on the most liquid market where I can trade the token, and the ability to copy and paste the smart contract address has saved me so much time because I can paste it right into my MetaMask. I can add it to my wallet and then to send the token from there. So the token address and then seeing all of the markets in terms of liquidity has saved so much time when I'm trading some shit coin and I can't find where the liquidity is. And I want to get it or I want to dump it. And I have to go to CoinGecko and find where the liquidity is by looking at the markets. And, I think the honeypot and some of these other scanners are going to be a big help too. Like, even if something is a rug, you guys can put like, hey, beware this contract. This is a rug. In addition to some of the other, like other parameters and other features that you put inside of the token page.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest worry for us when it comes to GeckoTerminal, because it tracks every token. Like it's very easy. Like that definitely includes a lot of spam and scam tokens, and there's no indicator for us. And I think we have to rely on some of these automated token trackers, token security trackers, to kind of give some stats on how whether the token is kind of good or bad. It's very hard to say as well. But I guess if you're I guess you shouldn't be trading shitcoins unless you know what you're doing. Then there's a lot of very, very high risk involved with all these tokens. Yeah, I think this is a price chart. We have TradingView integrated, so it comes with all the indicators that you want to plug in to use. You can kind of draw them and draw them out. I think the cool part as well is we have this this list of past transactions. So this is one thing that is a lot better than CoinGecko in the sense that we track all past trades for the token trader on the DEX. So this is all the trades that happen. If you want to see the Etherscan, the block explorer transaction, you can kind of click on this and go to Etherscan. So it kind of goes all the way back, for example, with all the transactions that you can kind of see. So yeah, that's kind of like the GeckoTerminal in a nutshell, I suppose.
Yeah, you guys are like an aggregator of blockchain data across all the networks and all the exchanges. Like, it's not just, Etherscan for Ethereum transactions and Arbiscan for Arbitrum. It's like, go to GeckoTerminal. Yeah. You guys have all the transactions on the blockchain. Anything that can be tokenized.
Yeah. In a sense, it's like a very specialized Etherscan, for example, purely focused on price tracking only instead of a generalized tracker for block explorers, and instead of just one one chain, we kind of track all the chains, and the aim is to basically track every single trade on the DEX, trading on any layer 0, 1, 2, 3. Who knows what will show up further on? And we're kind of working on it's very fast and simple for us to add a new DEX on an EVM chain. But we are working on adding all the non-EVM chain to kind of make this the most comprehensive DEX tracker out there in the market.
Yeah, and that'll be such a tool for arbitrage traders to detect opportunities that may go back and forth between EVM chains or non-EVM chains, and they'll be able to use that, you know, right there. And can we trade like from this terminal?
No, there's no trading involved yet at this stage. So what we do have, kind of ran into an error here. What we do have is basically this button here, the trade swap on Uniswap, which will bring up the Uniswap page for you to make your swap.
Got it. Okay. Very cool. Cool. You can stop sharing now. I think that gives our audience a great view of GeckoTerminal and all of the features that it has beyond just CoinGecko, in addition to some of the API features.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out real quick as well, before I stop sharing, that we have this thing that we just launched, the API on GeckoTerminal. So all this data, like a lot of the data that you see on this page, is made available on our API. So if you are interested, take a look. And it's kind of limited to 10 calls per minute, but if you need more calls, just let us know, and we'll be open to opening things up further for you guys. But yeah, there's a lot of data, or basically the prices of all the long tail of tokens that you see on GeckoTerminal is available as well. So yeah, I just wanted to plug that in and share.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, if you use the API, let them know you're from the Rollup. They'll open up the API calls, and we'll ramp you up. And we'll make sure that you guys get the data that you need. Bobby, this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm still just, you know, really curious about your vision for the tokenized world ahead of us. It makes total sense. You know, everything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. How do you think that will change our view of finance and economics right now? You know, with kind of like the black box traditional finance and equities markets and, you know, kind of the fragmentation of it. How do you think a tokenized world will bring everything together?
Yeah, I think this gets very philosophical, especially with all the bank runs that is happening right now. It's funny how what's happening with Silicon Valley Bank, Silvergate, and Signature Bank. Actually, the reason why I got into Bitcoin back in 2013 actually, was mainly because of the risk of bank runs. And I've always felt that money that I have in the bank was not really money that I own, in the sense that, well, one, the bank can fail. And we've seen it very clearly in the past few weeks. Number two is the government can decide to seize the money that I have in the bank anytime they wish to, for whatever reason that they want to. And I think this was mainly driven because I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs having the PayPal account frozen for no reason, or maybe there's some reasons. But it was really hard to kind of work through customer service to get those accounts unfrozen. And that was kind of a pain. Whereas Bitcoin by itself, like, you know, you have full self-sovereignty of your money. No one can take it away from you if you have full control of it. I think the other part that really drive me into crypto, and I believe very strongly in it, is because of the monetary policy of Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, broadly, in the sense that the monetary supply, especially for Bitcoin, is very fixed. There is 21 million coins that will be created until year 2140. Everyone knows the rules. The rules can't be changed unless more than 51% of the network agrees to it. I mean, who knows if it will change? But at this point in time, most likely it wouldn't change for the near future. Whereas if you compare that with the traditional financial system, when I first back in 2013 and also, we were going through massive quantitative easing. We were printing billions, trillions of dollars, and at the back of my head, this is needed to kind of fix the financial crisis, the global financial crisis of 2009. But how much more do we need to print to really fix this issue? It seems to me that we are printing way too much money, way too quickly, and maybe way too long. And this was in 2013, and we didn't really get off this quantitative easing drug until I think last year, I would say. We were struggling. So that seems like an issue to me, and crypto, or more broadly Bitcoin, and to some extent Ethereum, is a deflationary currency, and that sort of aim to fix the monetary supply. Who knows what the interest rate will be next month? I mean, it's decided by a group of people in a room, and they get to decide our circumstances, I suppose. So Bitcoin, and I guess to some extent Ethereum and the rest, changes that, like in the sense that the monetary supply. So yeah, those are the two big factors, I would say, that drove me into crypto. And I think more than ever, we see these reasons holding true again with all the things that's happened in the past few weeks.
Yeah, most definitely. And we see like these currency wars where Bitcoin and ETH are now giving citizens of the internet a opportunity for a currency that is apolitical. The first currencies that are apolitical, that aren't tied to a country, Bitcoin and ETH, are now giving the citizens of the internet a chance to instantiate their monetary policy however they see fit, almost giving the power back to the people. And it's very exciting to see this new form of economy and governance and currency form right before our eyes as the internet matures. It was an absolute pleasure, Bobby. Thank you for joining the show.
Pleasure.
Everyone who's listening, we'll drop a link to GeckoTerminal in the description so you guys can check it out. And Bobby, where should our audience find you? On Twitter?
Yeah, I'm available on Twitter. I'm at Bobby Ong on Twitter. So feel free to drop me a follow and drop me a DM if you have any questions to me.
Awesome. It was a pleasure. Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thanks for joining,
Pleasure.
Bobby.
Great talking to you.